after this, I'm at the beach up all.
Good morning, nice and decent people. Are we still mad? Are we still upset? I'm still upset, But I let the music take the edge off. You cannot let Arsenal Football Club let the weekend ruin and then take that shit into the rest of the week with you. Have to leave that into the weekend. But it's hard, man. God damn it, it's hard. Playing Man United away match week 1, season opener away. Playing Man United in match week 23, back end of the season where there's actual pressure to do things, to put some distance, to keep the distance, to maintain and all that there. It's night and day. And it proved yesterday that the pressure was a little too much for the boys, a little too much for the manager. What we just saw, up, down, right? If you watch certain man's, if you watch the flagship fan base, the flagship fan channel for the football club, you will see against Nottingham Forest is we always choke, we always bottle this, we always do these bad things. Fast forward 3 days, we're the best team in Europe. Look, we went to the San Siro, rotated 5 players and made light work of last year's Champions League finalists. To 3 days later saying, oh my God, how are we this bad? We always choke. Up, down, up, down. One to the next. Now, if we see things in week 1, in match week 2, in match week 3, and was called out for it, just to forward to match week 23 to hear them fuckers say the same shit we were saying that they called us out saying back then. So you think because 20 match weeks have passed and you have had time to gather the information that we were telling you all along makes you some kind of a visionary, makes you right because it took you longer to see that the house is on fire? Maybe you're just slow. Maybe your footballing abilities or your football brain is not what you think it is. If you think we can win at the highest level playing this brand of football under this guy. And this is the only brand of football we're going to play under this guy because he is this level. He is not that good and can't. He doesn't have another gear to go to. He's flattened out. You know how we talk about the players have peaked? Tactically, Arteta has peaked with this bunch at this club. There's no other level that he can go to. Handbrake on, handbrake off. At this point, he should just move the hell out of the way. Big up to Chrome Ice Gaming. Big up Quaja. Big up, it's cooking time. Arteta out. Holt. Arteta Holt. Leeds play tonight, do they? Okay. I don't think I have any. I think I had Jack Grealish in my damn fantasy team, but he's injured. I just quit. This manager every fucking time, man. I am sick and tired of this fucking joke, man. Every time, over and over again, and over and over and over and over and over. This is what we are, bro. If he continues to just do the insanity thing, who's gonna call it out? Who's gonna tell him? Is it Canton? It's the same shit, different day, just like he says. Hey, when is this manager gonna get the sack? As long as we're in first, he is safe. I was just talking to Matty, the Southern Gooner, right? And what we're noticing across the space is that when we were 7 points clear, they were defending it using those exact words. We're 7 points clear. We're 7 points clear, right? When it disappeared or when it starts to dissipate, they say we're top We're top. They don't use the number because we're 4 points clear. We're 4 points clear. We're still 45 points to play for. It doesn't sound as sexy, as glamorous. So they just say we're top. So get ready for the numbers to go away to push the narrative and remind people of where we are. You know what I mean? But I am fuming just like you are, man. You go, yeah. If I'm angry all the time, this club will do that to you, you know. But one thing I'll say about Arsenal fans, I swear to God, we are a resilient bunch. Big up to Guna SE. Say I was just backed by the Canadian Michael Jackson. I said he had no ball knowledge, and he was like, these arrogant pricks. They know everything about football because they are British. Oh, he's doing that. He's doing the victim thing again. Don't tell me he's doing the victim thing where he's like, yeah, brother. But you know what? Kudos to you for going over there, bro. Because if you want to pollute your ears that way, good for you. But big up to Waha. Big up to Manny. Manny said this should be fun. Haven't even gotten to it yet, Manny. Someone may be joining me. I'm not sure if he will, but I sent the link to one of my dear friends that needs to vent as well. I need to hear what he has to say. So if he pops in here, great. But if not, we'll vibe, we'll roll. Big up to Abdul. Say big up to Taran in the chat. What's worse, the man you lost or the foot? Oh, yeah. The weather is absolute ass and cheeks where you are. Yeah, there you are. Shit. Wait a minute, Dal. You in the house, Dal? What you telling me? Okay, Dal. Let me see. I know I got your number in here somewhere. 1 second, people. Jesus. Group info. I know I really suck at these group chats things, I didn't even copy the link yet. Shit. People, 1 second. I gotta send Dal the link. Dal, you're fucking up my show, guy. But I owe you this. I haven't had Dal on here in a long time. 15. There we go. Thank God. Where is he? There he is. All right, Dal. I sent you. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. Typical sore loser. So what he is, right? He's a YouTuber that does content for football. He's not a football fan that does content. Like what I see, like I've always said, I watch Dan Potts' channel. I'm a big fan of Potts, but I watch Potts on the playback, so I can fast forward through the waffle when man heard a song. I just can't do it live. I can't fast forward through the waffle. And I noticed that if the conversation centers around tactics and the actual football, he has nothing to say. No input, no additions, nothing. But when it's just random current events, you can talk it. Because anyone can do that, talk about the modern current event. But if it come down to the football, we have to do some tactical analysis. He can't do it because he's never played the game. Big up to the assembled Gary. Puerto Rican. Another Chihuahua performance from the supposed dog, soft as horse. So right out, yeah. One of my Trini friends in another one of the Arsenal therapy chats, they say, yeah, Arsenal, yeah, bark like a bulldog, but bite like a puppy. Yeah, you ever heard that one? He barks like a bulldog, but bites like a puppy. That's essentially what we are, the masses of the fan base. You agree, Dal? You agree that we bark like a bulldog and bite like a puppy?
We bark like a parrot and bite like a worm. Thanks for the link. Big up everyone in the chat.
Hey, at least the worms do dirt. We got a bunch of nice guys in the squad that won't even run a red light. They'll stop on amber. We need someone to run through it. Because Arteta on the sidelines, Dal, he is cautious. He is an amber light. We need someone to run that light, right?
Yep.
And some Maverick and some, the only player in the squad, the Ethan that he just loaned out, Eze that can drop his shoulder and beat a man. He doesn't want that. He wants the safe pass merchants. Because Zubamendi, he thought that pass was safe now because it's backwards.
Right.
He didn't even look. He just hoofed it backwards. That was an assist. That wasn't even a pass. Let's call it what the fuck it is. That was an assist to Mbumo. He had so much time to dribble across David Raya, and Saliba did well to get back across there because he was in an attacking posture when Zubimendi gave the damn ball away. So Mbuemo had so much time on the ball because of that sweet assist from Zubi. Now, Dan, let me ask you.
Yep.
After $1 billion spent in 5 years, why do we still suck at playing football?
Because we have too much of the Arsenal emotion still, the mentality that runs through the club, not just the players themselves. Too much coddling to players who underperform. Too much coddling to players who are big on social media and PR, but not a good enough in performances when it matters. We have a captain who's lackluster in every avenue of performances. We're relying on building players up too much than actually looking for guaranteed winners. I know we've got some winners in the squad, Jesus, etc. You can name more names than that. But the fact of the matter is we coddle too much to these players when they're not performing. And it's been an issue for me, for the club. You know, I've been following this club almost 30 years, that we have too much emotion tied up in the players. As clubs like Chelsea look at their players as just doing a job temporarily, and that's why they can sell and buy and sell and buy. But for us, we look at our players as assets, right? A little too much, if you know what I mean. Like we're trying to give $300,000. Well, we did give $300,000 a week to Saka, who scored 0 goals in 13 games, and we're calling him Starboy at 25 years old.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, I was listening to our man Flawless today, and one of the viewers he had on was running the stats. We are 17th in the league in scoring goals from open play. Right? So I don't understand why we keep coddling these players. We did it, when a lot of players' times had expired in the past, even under the Wenger time. Big up, Manny. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, big up everyone in the chat as well. But I think that you called it. Our friends in the chat called it. The moment Odegaard got back, he was going to be slotted right in. Eze scores a hat trick, first time since the 1920s against Spurs, and then he's dropped immediately afterward. Taryn, like, make it make sense. Like, and I don't get why people keep giving this manager props. I mean, I've been on shows, obviously, with TJ, doing our American Idiot show, and spoken with you many a times, and a lot of our friends here in the chat, and I will give credit where credit is due. But, bro, we've got 2 points out of 9 in the title run. 2 points out of 9. I mean, and this is where it just, you've said it, I've said it, our friends in the chat have said it. January is a different season for us. It's a different season. We go to August to December is one season, and then January to May is a complete different season for Arsenal. And it's been that way for years now. Years. And again, it goes back to coddling these players that don't deserve the credit all the time. Like, again, Saka 0-13. Gyökeres, 3 open goals in the Prem in 15 matches, bro. It's just, like, what are we doing here? And yet we keep playing the same system. We keep playing the same players. We expect these moments of magic, which are great if we go on to win. A moment of magic of Moreno yesterday to make it 2-2. And what do we do 3 minutes later? We got a midfield that can't defend, right? It looks decent going forward, but in the transition defending, it's nothing's there. And I'm even going to throw Rice under that. Rice is an okay 6, but not in this setup. Not in this setup, bro. Not the way we're set up and we're being coached to play. Rice can't make doppelgangers of himself. He can't clone himself and be all over the pitch.
Yeah.
You can't have 3 Declan Rices, then you got 3 CDMs and 3 players doing the same thing. But when you have a captain who's supposed to be our creative spark, Taryn, and he gets 17 touches in 157 minutes of football, what is he doing? He's a passenger. Are we talking about Kai Havertz being a passenger? They're all passengers at this point. Jesus was awful yesterday. Saka was awful. Trossard was awful.
Was anybody good yesterday? Can anyone walk off that pitch yesterday with their head held? anyone.
Yeah, I thought Saliba was awful. Saliba, as we all saw, watch the ball roll behind him. You know, and Saliba become our attacking midfielder and dribbling the ball halfway up the pitch. That's a new thing. That's brand new.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think David Raya is the only.
True.
Yeah, because Raya with the Zubimendi assist to Cunha and then 2 screamers. I don't even blame him for any of the goals. Imagine that. We conceded 3 goals, and normally you can say, the goalkeeper could have did better than. Damn it, Raya should have saved it. None of those goals. He was at fault for none of those. Now we are at the point now. You remember last year and the year before that, we've got told and fed this narrative. Look at his record against the top 6. You notice that narrative has completely disappeared this season because against the top 6, the big 6, we've been shit. We've only beaten Villa and United that they have now surged. All our wins that have come against, we haven't beaten Liverpool. Liverpool have only clipped 6 clean sheets this year now. 2 of them was against us.
Right.
2. Even Burnley goes there and busts net at Anfield. Man keeps 2 clean sheets against us. We haven't beaten City, haven't beaten Liverpool. We haven't beaten Chelsea. We've beaten Villa once. That's why I put all those managers in the thumbnail because those are all the managers who have tactically outdone Arteta, and Carrick is just the latest one who have done him tactically. But I think he had great help from Zubimendi because he literally passed the momentum to United with that. The game completely shifted because now they'll be like, oh shit. This is what happens when Carrick told us if we pressed him, he will make this blind back pass. Just be there. Tactically, just be there, Cunha. Because he's going to hoof it. He's not even going to look. Jesus, you brought up Jesus. There was a play in the 20th minute where the ball was turned over and Odegaard was running and Jesus was jogging to the box now.
Right.
He was behind Odegaard jogging. I'm like, brother, you are the striker. You need to be busting your ass to get in the box. At least Gyökeres would be there. He wouldn't get the ball, but he would make sure that was jogging the 20th minute. Go if you have a chance. Fast forward to the 20th minute when we're on that break and just watch him jog. I'm like, this guy, he is not a striker. He looks better at doing nothing. Like Gyökeres looks bad out there, not scoring. Right. Jesus just comes on and look better at it. Looks better at doing that. We've seen this movie before because you've heard that. Wait till Havertz gets back. Wait till Jesus gets back. We've seen that. Why do we need to wait? We have 3 years of footage. Well, you know what it looks like.
Look at who. Yeah, exactly. But look who we've been linked to last 2 days for 100 mil. Julian Alvarez. What does that tell you? That tells you that Jesus is done, Gyökeres ain't it, and Havertz ain't it. Why are we linked to another striker? Because none of it's working out. Right? Well, I mean, where is he going to? Where's Julian Alvarez going to play? Are we going to play him in a 4-3-3 and he's going to replace Odegaard? I mean, that doesn't make sense. The only place you can play him is a 4-2-3-1 right behind the striker in the middle.
Yeah.
Other than that, or a 4-4-1-1, which means Arteta would have to change things up, Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's not going to do that. He refuses to do that. Like, it's not even like, oh, I'm going to try something new to get a win. I'm going to stick with what I think works best because it's won me games in the past, even though it's on fucking own goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's why I think if we get another manager in who has an attacking mindset, he can get a tune out of this squad. I have no doubt someone like maybe Glasner, I don't know. I'm not going to throw out names. You guys know the names. There's no use in me throwing out names, right? But if we're going to have the second highest paid manager in the world, let's go get Luis Enrique and make him the first highest paid manager in the world that can actually put the team together and score some goals, right? Alvarez isn't going to fix anything.
Yeah, I hear it. At least ask the question because I know PSG ain't paying him 15.6.
No,
I know they're paying him well, but they're not paying him that. You know what I mean? So if you're a treble winner, that's fair market value. Hey, they call it pocket watching. We can call it fair market value. You know, I got some trophies. I did a trophy with 2 different teams in 2 different leagues. I got some clout. Give me 15.6. I think Eze would appreciate it. You know, I think Ethan would appreciate it because right now, Dal, we have 110 at the club. We have Eze at the club who's a 10. Like Odegaard in that 10 role, he ain't it. So we have 110. Meanwhile, we just loaned out a 10. Like, what do you make of the Ethan?
What do I make of the Ethan thing? Another missed opportunity, another ESR that would have been either rotting on the bench or getting game time. But you know, the loan's good. And in fact, he went to Marseille, who you've looked at their squad, they got some pretty deep players. In fact, I think he took Mason Greenwood's spot in the game yesterday or Saturday. So I don't know what Arteta sees in this, like I said, in and coddling these players, right? And yeah, it's great to be first, but again, it's 4 points, bro. We've had opportunities to go 9 points, 12 points, and every time we've slipped up. And like AJ was saying, he doesn't think, Alvarez would make the difference. What's Ethan Maneri going to come in and do? I mean, he may bag a goal here and there, but with the rest of the crap surrounding him and the way he would be coached with given, let's say, 75, 80 minutes on the pitch, I still don't think it's going to work. Big up, Normski. I still don't think it's going to work. And this is why it's like, bro, I'm looking at another rebuild after the 8 players we got in the summer, because now we've got to get the garbage out, right? I mean,
but
our man League understood it all. Zubimendi ain't it with his back towards goal. He looks good making a forward pass when he's got 5 or 6 yards of space. I get all that, and he scored some 2 or 3 great goals this season, but it's still just not enough. Odegaard, like if we get Alvarez and Odegaard still there, what do you think would improve, Taryn? Like if we literally sold Jesus and got Alvarez, but still kept Odegaard, what change would you see in that?
And that's the thing, right? This is why I asked you about the Ethan thing, because even though I agree with what you said about Ethan is going to go play for De Zerbi and he's going to develop and he's going to get better, but it doesn't mean anything because he's coming back to Arteta. It's coming back to this. Ethan will only come back and be of benefit to us if Arteta is not here. Because he's gonna, we could give this man Lamine Yamal. He will not look like Lamine Yamal. We could. I'm asking, do you think that Erling Haaland would struggle in this system? And they paused, and I said, hey, "Yeah, that's it. Got you." The fact that you have to pause when I asked you if one of the most generational strikers that we've ever seen, one of the most clinical strikers, not footballers, but strikers with the bad boy conversion would struggle in our system, tells me that you agree that Arteta can coach an attack. So when Ethan comes back, he might go out there and take 2 steps forward and come back and Arteta 3 steps backwards.
Right.
So that loan is all fine and dandy unless Arteta changes system or if he leaves the damn club.
And the thing that gets me the most, Taryn, though, is that we can come out and kill Spurs. We went out, we lost to Villa the first time, but we went out and destroyed them in the game at the Emirates. It's like, where is that? Like, why can't that mentality, that winning mentality that we showed in those games, go through the rest of the weeks, of the month's fixtures? Like, I just don't understand what he always plays with this handbrake on, and it's like the players got to go above and beyond to get a 4-1, to get a 2-0 or 3-0. It's like we did something spectacular, but at the end of the day, it's just the players basically telling "F you, Arteta. I'm going to express myself and do what I can do." And I don't get the complete cutoff of why we're really good for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we're complete shit for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Like, what has really changed? I mean, and I think it's down to Arteta setting them up week in and week out differently. Like, why would you do that? Why would you set them up differently than what worked at Villa and Spurs?
Yeah. So basically, I'm hearing you saying that. Where's the response? Yeah, we went and lost to Villa, but the next game we responded and put the belt to ass, and we responded. We dropped points to Liverpool. Where was the response against Forest? Another dead performance, and then no response in this game again. And the reason why I'm concerned that there was no response, Dal, is of this reason. I've heard this in the spaces. The fact that City was dropping points made Mikel even more cautious because he was okay with maintaining the lead. And then people told us, hey, maybe if City had won and put pressure on us, you will actually see him go out. Well, City won and put pressure on us, and we didn't respond. We got moved to at home. We got moved to. United flexed on us. They flexed on us now. They look like the goal that we scored against Norwich. They were bopping the ball throughout midfield. Zubimendi playing for a handball while Dorgu was taking a shot at our goal. Like, come on, like what?
Trossard flying just a little too late, right? Yeah. He's flying in there with his back turn. You see a big number 19 go flying right before Dogu puts the goal in top bins. I don't know, man. I think it's a lack of communication out on the pitch as well, Taryn. I think that one player's waiting for the other guy to do something. Right? Oh, that's not my responsibility. It's his responsibility. So I'm going to wait. And that's why we were missing, even back in the Forest game, that's why we were missing 50-50 duels. Because we're waiting for the other guy to do it. Oh, it's not for me. It's the other guy's time to be there. Well, no, fool, you're the one next to the ball. You're the one that has to like double team the man, do something. You know, I just think at this point, Arteta's ran out of ideas. And we knew this because the own goals were keeping us going forward. And people could want to say, oh, that was, I heard someone say, I don't know if it's Egal or not, or one of the top Guna wannabes come out and say, oh, the own goals are part of Arteta's strategy. What?
Mhm.
What? Like he's sitting in there before the game on the whiteboard with the black marker and the red marker and the blue marker and saying, oh, here's the strategy, guys. We're going to kick the ball at the defender's feet so they put own goals for us, guys. Like, come on. And again, I go back to what I've said before. And Normsky, some of the old school heads in here, my man AJ, for you, Taryn, you guys know this. We are a striker-centric club. Ian Wright, Henry, Bergkamp, Robin Van Persie, Adebayor, Aubameyang, Olivier Giroud. The list goes on and on. We are a striker-centric club. And we are not playing the real old school, if you want to call it that, Arsenal way. The way that this club is known for is having some of the best strikers in the world, bro. In the world. In all of world football, especially European football. But no, we do the similar wing play week in and week out that's produced nothing. It's produced nothing. I mean, some great moments, right? Some great moments. Eze wasn't on the wing when he scored the hat trick. Right? Matt Leckie wasn't. Well, Matt Leckie was on the wing, but he at least was like, you know what? I'm going to actually do something new and score 2 goals against Bruges. 2 bangers. I mean, all said and done is Bruges. But at the end of the day, thank you, Seymour. Anelka, Kevin Campbell, Alan Smith. The list goes on. You know, and my main point is, why have we diverted? And I'd like to get your opinion. Why have we diverted from being a striker-centric club that is known for having some of the best strikers in European football to what we have now?
You know what? Yeah. So the thing is, right? Arteta played for our football club. He played for us, right? So he knows the magnitude of this game. And the best season that you had at this football club is not none of your second place finishes. The best season you had at this football club is you have a season where you won the FA Cup. The season you had an actual striker in the team, right? Golden boot winner you inherited, and the first year you had him, his goals got cut in half. He can't coach an attack now. That's what he does not have it. He cannot.
Right.
He has been there's cautious and there's being cowardly, and to me, there's not a fine line. It's not at this level. Not when you're this far in with the amount of money spent. You shouldn't look this bad attacking. I do not recognize my football club. Like, I don't. When people ask me, "Hey, what is Arsenal? What's your identity now?" I said, "We're hard to beat," and then that's it. Disappear. We can be difficult to beat.
Right.
But now that narrative that they used to run, we haven't conceded 3 goals in however long. Now that's dead. So that's dead. Our top 6 record is dead. So now we have to get back to the football. But brother Ozzy, as I bring you in here, man, I'm asking, how do we look so bad going forward? Can you hear me? Ozzy, you there? I don't think Ozzy can hear me. Let me put him backstage. And hey, Ozzy, send me put a note in the private chat when you connect your audio. Let me get some of these chats in real quick now. Big up to Jason Guna, manners and respect. Social Jones said he's put the system above doing what's needed, and I think this is a great answer to your question of why we don't have any. We're not such a striker-centric team anymore, because we need goals, but he believes he can score goals by committee instead of getting an actual gunman who can actually bang. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could give this guy a Ballon d'Or winner, and he'll make him look bang average, like Social is saying here. Now, the lineup yesterday. You were good with the lineup, or you would have started someone else, played someone else in?
I probably would have started Martinelli and Gyökeres, and Martinelli because he's in goal-scoring form. I know it's been in Champions League, but Ella would have had a more difficult time. Even though I think Trossard's been decent this season over last, but I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge Trossard fan. I think he's good in spells, right? And I was, in all fact of the matter, I was, even last season, I was saying, oh, Martinelli needs to step up, which I think he's done this season. I really think he's done this season. You know, obviously with the Champions League goals, it's got us to where we are in the CL. You know, hopefully some of that transfers to the Prem. But I was pretty disappointed, and especially to see Odegaard. I don't know what this guy brings, Tara. Like the data doesn't lie. Like, are they not looking at tape? Are they not looking at their iPads and seeing that this guy had 15 touches for Forest, 17 touches, you know, against United, and 10 of those passes were backwards?
Yeah,
I don't get why we're not relying on the actual data instead of the name on the shirt.
I think people look at the data. They look at the film and they look at the spots that Odegaard take up on the pitch, which makes it very easy to mark out of a game. I've seen him being marked out at so many. It's like easy for him now. And it's like yesterday when the lineup came out, when someone sent it to me, I was like, you know what? In Capier, he is not 100% fit. On the hour mark, he is subbed out.
Right.
This was what I said when the lineup came out. That's exactly what happened. So if I know this,
man.
I know that Carrick knows this, and he's going to plan for that. And when the players see the coach's plan being executed and coming to fruition the same way they briefed it in the dressing room, they're going to be like, shit, you know, we can outdo these men. Because if we make an adjustment that Arteta has to respond to, he's not going to respond to it very well. He was panicking and was still doing like-for-like subs. It was still Jesus for Gyökeres. It was still Madueke and Saka goes over to the other wing, and it was Benjamin White go over there and then you switch around. It was still like-for-like subs. So how are you panicking like-for-like subs?
Saka was given the armband after that fraud was subbed off, and then he had to leave his main position for Madueke.
Yeah, that's because Madueke is shit on the left. So this is
shit on the left. Saka's shit on the right. I as much as I respect Saka being that young kid, he ain't the young kid anymore, bro. He's 25 years old.
Far from young.
Right. So I just is the Saka experiment over? I'm starting to think so. But again, it's that coddling of players like I was talking about earlier. Oh, it's Saka. We could never sell him. Oh, it's Odegaard. We could never sell him. Right? He's too special to our club. Get the fuck out of here with that, bro.
I'll tell you what.
I just come and go. The club remains.
We would have a hard time selling Odegaard. We can get somebody for Saka, but Odegaard, we would have a hard time getting rid of that motherfucker.
Right. Because we again fuck up in the wage structure.
Yeah.
Right? It's all our own fault.
And form, you know, Jesus is form.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying this the other day, and I think some friends of ours in the chat was agreeing. Odegaard's perfect for Dortmund. That's like the perfect club for him, bro. You're in a top 4 or 5 German side. You can do what you want to do in the Bundesliga to a point, right? He would be a perfect fit. He's the Norwegian Mario Götze, right? Essentially, right? Go to Dortmund. Go to Frankfurt. Go to Freiburg, Schalke, right? Go to Valencia, right? I mean, that's his level at this point. He is not good enough for the Prem. And the whole thing about the Madueke thing, going back to that real quick, bro, we spent Rodrigo money on Madueke. Rodrigo was linked. Berta couldn't close the book. Close the book, Berta. Turn the page. Sign the kid. Right, Götze won the World Cup. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, you get what I'm saying. Right? I mean, back to Odegaard. Dortmund's the perfect club for him, bro. Go to Dortmund. Go get sussed out over there. He is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. He's just not good enough. But that's okay. I mean, a lot of players aren't.
Yeah. Footy Benson thinks that Arteta doesn't learn. He put Saliba on loan to the second he left us with Socrates and Holding. A year later, lets Ethan leave so he can play his Chelsea mule, Nani with no end product. Yeah, like Nani. Yeah. So we essentially have the same problem on our right side as we do on our left side with our wing play now. Well, we got one guy who can dribble really well but can't finish, and then you got one who can finish very well or finish better than the other guy, but doesn't dribble and beat his man as play as direct as he can. And on the left side, you have Trossard with all the tech, but he is slow. You got Martinelli with all the pace and all the work rate with no tech. You know, so we don't have one complete winger at the club. You know?
Right. Right.
Odegaard, Rice, Zubimendi doesn't work. We look our best with two pivots. So we're seeing a duck and he's seeing a rabbit. Because this is his go-to midfield default. We get to the final at Wembley. This is who's starting in our middle. This is it. He's not gonna mix it up. He's not gonna throw it. No, Esde is gonna get 12 minutes in the final. Should we get there?
Right.
Odegaard.
A 4-2-3-1 with Rice and Zubi in front of the back four, with Martinelli on the left, Eze in the number 10 in the middle, and possibly Saka on the right with Gyökeres up front, I think could actually do something. But again, it comes down to this manager. He's never going to play that. We may transform into that, right, defensively, right? It kind of like, you know what I mean? The players will kind of move into those positions. We've coached into that. But this 4-3-3, bro, that requires a lot of running of your midfielders, right? That requires them to literally be up the pitch and down the pitch, and pretty much, all three of them, right? Excuse me. It's not like Zubi's just hanging out in that 6 waiting. No, he's up the pitch, and then when we are weak in transition, he's got to get all the way down the pitch. Same with Rice, same with Odegaard, but he just stands there and watches and tries to be the outlet. That never comes. I mean, if we can all pick this apart and know that with the strengths of some of these players, and know what formations would probably be suitable for these players, why can't our manager figure it out?
Yeah, these are the problems that he gets paid to solve, and right now he's not solving any of them, because against the top teams, we have looked god awful this season. God awful. Interestingly, says Social Joins, Nani scored goals not following the script and got dropped the next game. Looks spooky. So he's talking about the Brugge game, right? Yeah. So yeah, that may have been the goal of our season so far. It's between that one or the Zubimendi goal volley against was that right. Forest in the 5-0. Yeah. So imagine scoring the goal of the season for the club so far, and then the very next game against Wolves, bench. You know what I mean? And even in against Inter, Saka in a game that we have wrapped up that we don't even need to win. Saka's playing a full 90, and you are. He could have used some of those minutes to get Matt Sharp or get some rhythm going into this game. Again, bad management. He's not managing the players. You know what I mean? It's mad. Yeah, Ozzy's having some technical difficulties, people. We'll see if we can get him back in here. But big up to Ozzy. Adam says, can't win a football competition without playing football. I think he is, which is weird, but it seems like he's relying on a City implosion. Like he thinks City, like, no, you need to go win this league outright. You can't be waiting on City.
Right.
Yeah, waiting on City to go, oh, Tottenham is their bogey guy and they're going to drop points there and they go to Anfield the week after. Nah, you have to win your games, bro. You have to.
How are they going to have the implosion, bro, when they're only 4 points behind with about 13 more games to play in the season, or 12, and then they just see us drop points? How is that an implosion? If they see us drop points, that gives them more reason to go for it. That gives them impetus to go for it, bro, even more. Right, he's waiting for a City implosion. That implosion just happened when they drew, 3 games in a row? 4. And they went on to win again. The City implosion isn't going to happen. If anything, what they saw yesterday is going to give us more impetus for them to actually go out there and be more destructive than they've been before in the past. Right? Pep will figure things out quicker than Arteta.
Yeah, 100%. The manager's killing our attackers. You can't bring in players at the top of their game and they come to Arsenal and they look a shadow of themselves. All this on the fraud. Yeah, so when the entire team dips collectively, right? Yeah, like if the production sales of a product drop collectively, you start looking at management, you start looking at your marketing strategy. You don't go to the factory and look at the people making the damn phones or whatever you're selling. Like there's a different voice may be needed to unlock some of these players, because I do believe after this year, because now we've seen managers with winning messages go stale.
Right.
So imagine this guy with no winning record. He has to be damn near close to the expiration sell-by date on the milk, to where if you're Saliba and you're these men, you're like, but you said that in 23, you said that in 24, you said that in 25, and here we are in 26, and we still playing the same shit football. Still scoring NFL goals, like Adam says, but it's field goals. It's not touchdowns.
Yeah, I think this is probably Saliba's last season. I would say in the summertime, Real Madrid are come snooping around, and I think that's why we're linked to Mark Guehi, who obviously went to City, for 20 million steal. I think we were linked to him because we know we're going to lose one of our center backs.
Mm-hmm.
We know that that Saliba will get tired of this, and Gabriel will hit a point of no return as well, and he'll be looking at PSG, right? He'll be looking at PSG. Somewhere where he'll get good wages, maybe Madrid, maybe even Barcelona, but I don't think he goes anywhere else in the Prem, right? I don't think that, unless City come in with big, big, big money. Could you imagine Gabriel leaving us for City?
He could if they beat the 115 and we don't win anything. You know what I mean?
No.
But that's the thing. Like you said earlier, there's no sentiment. Like we've seen Thierry Henry leave our club. See Fabregas leave our club. We see Van Persie go across the road. So
and win a title the following year.
We've seen world-class players leave our football club. So, these bunch, there's no sentimental value. There's no attachment. You know what I mean? But it's not prime soccer. Absolutely cooked. Big up Chelsea, Dan. Big up, man. I hope you're good, bro. I just knew you would be here today. I felt your spirit. I see you, but I knew you'd be here. I'll big you up. So now, 4-point lead, 51, 45 points to play for. 0 to 10. Where's your confidence level on that spectrum?
0 to 10 confidence level. Oh man, you really put me on the hot seat. Confidence level, about, in all honesty, about a 4. About a 4, 3.5, because I still think that there's time to recoup, right? Like you said before, we've had flat performances and come back and won. But that hasn't been the case, obviously, in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I thought we'd be able to ride some of the win from beating Inter, but at the end of the day, that game meant fuck all anyway, I mean, to a point, right? But it's still good to beat them on their patch, especially at the San Siro, right? That should have been galvanizing for the squad to go out and do a job at home against a in my opinion, mid-level United team who are better than previous seasons. But at the same time, if we were on our game, we run out of there 2-0 winners, bro. Maybe 2-1, 1-0. I would have taken a scruffy 1-0 to get the 3 points.
Yeah. Right.
But at this point in time, I think confidence is so low in the camp. You got Declan Rice cussing out AirPod Albert, after the Forest game, arguing in the tunnel. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was the Liverpool game. Maybe it was the Forest game. So I think there's some discontent within the squad right now because the results haven't been going our way. The performances haven't been solid. Even for a 0-0, going back to Forest, even Liverpool, even for a 0-0, Taryn, it was still crap. Mm-hmm. Right? Like those are games like, hey, you go to the City ground against a somewhat rejuvenated Forest, who we really should have played off the pitch if we were on the day. But when you're not on the day, you still expect a goal, right? Yeah. Martinelli, you can't, I know we're just inches away from making that 1-0 with Martinelli's shot, right, in the first, 15 minutes. I get that. But put it in the back of the net, bro. Put it in the back of the net, right? That's really all you got to do in those moments. There was no one on you, and you didn't have your foot curved the right way, and it's a game of inches or whatever you want to say it is. But the fact is that your Arsenal Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, score the goal, right? Do what you're getting paid to do. Don't break your concentration, right? Because a 1-0 against Forest in the 15 minutes, you may agree with this, may not. That could open the floodgates for a 3 or 4-0. Wow, congrats. Right? That could open the floodgates. You score against a team like Forest in the first 15 minutes, their heads are down. And they can be got at, right? Liverpool, I kind of understand. I mean, they're a very they're not as strong as they've been, but on paper that's a very good side. Even even if you add Nteke in there, even Nteke gets better. We can say what we want about Liverpool. I know they just lost to Bournemouth as well, but it's still those teams we struggle against, right? And it's to our own detriment, of course. But my confidence, bro, is about a 3.5. I don't see where the goals are going to come from unless it's a set piece.
You said that because yesterday now, set piece showed up and own goal showed up in the same game, and we still lost.
We still lost.
Well, it's been a while since both of them showed up in the same game, so we showed up and we still find a way to book us in a bowl. You know what I'm saying?
But we saw that Cunha goal coming. The moment he cut inside, you could just tell that was coming, bro. And I see like Adam put in Douglas Luiz on there. I get it, but what is Douglas Luiz gonna do with this manager? Like, what is Douglas Luiz gonna bring? Like, and Rodrigo, I get it as well, right? But what's Rodrigo gonna do with this manager? And that's what we've been saying for the last 2 or 3 years is that you can throw any name you want there, bro. And God, we got Gyökeres, 95 goals in 2 seasons. You think he would kick on like that? No, you're supposed to play a false 9 and defend. No, I just want you to run around and body check CBs and get the CBs disoriented. What? Right? Scoring goals for Gyökeres is second tier, third tier of what he's supposed to do in his responsibilities under this manager.
Yeah. You know what I liked? I liked listening to Patrick in the studio because if I know that guy, one thing he was gonna do, he's gonna keep it. He knows he's never gonna be Arsenal manager. He knows that his legacy is cemented, so he was keeping it 100. It was like, yeah, you lack creativity, you lack bravery, aka basically Patrick is saying the same shit that Tony told us in the summer. I would have paid to hear Tony's thoughts yesterday. I would have paid good money.
I think he's doing a show a little bit later.
He had to say. Because he caught a lot of heat. People got personal with him, calling him all kind of stuff. I tell you what, a drunk man I take a drunk man's word over an honest manager. Because we see Arteta show up at the press conference sober as fuck and lie. So he told us that, and there is no one more qualified in the world, no one more qualified to speak on the subject of being captain of Arsenal Football Club and leading us to titles than that guy. And he told us what the hell he told us.
Tony Claude.
So we looked at it. And we're like, okay. Now Patrick is saying it. TT said it. Yeah, we lack creativity. We lack bravery. Right? Who's in charge of the creativity on the pitch for all these games? It's Odegaard. And it's not. Because look how quick the ball was moving at the San Siro for our first goal.
Right.
Quickly.
Right.
Boom.
Thank you.
Moving so fast. That's what I'm saying. Look how fast the ball moved through our midfield for that Dorgu goal. There's no defense for the perfect pass, Dallas. I don't want to hear nothing about the low block, move the ball quicker. That's it. That's what Wenger used to do. That's what Fergie did. Move the ball faster. The ball is faster than the man every single time. But
every single time. 100%. Yeah. And just like if Thomas Partey was in that squad, the moment Dogu let off that release pass, he would have been on his ass, bro. And it would have been a foul. Right? At least it would have slowed down the momentum. And that's another, I think, we were so gassed to get Partey because we're like, finally, someone with some steel in the midfield. Yeah. And then we go to Mendy, who doesn't exhibit any cojones in the midfield, bro. None. Again, decent going forward, can pick out a pass. I'll give him that. Has been at the right place a few times to score some nice goals, especially so far a goal of the season. Maybe I'd still give it to Madwecki, right, against Brood. And even the one he scored against Bayern Munich, I thought was pretty phenomenal as well. But it's
I think Trump's goal Sunderland was good as well. I think it's one of those
as well. True. So yeah, we've got a case for three or four good goals. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, bro, like I said, my confidence of winning this now has completely downgraded in the last 3 weeks. I mean, it's not even been a month, maybe a month. Right? Well, because to be honest, Aaron, it's my confidence in actually lifting it in May downgraded when we won 1-0 at Everton with a penalty. Right? Everton, probably not the funnest place to play either. We haven't had always the best record against Everton and Moyes in the past, right? But the thing is that they have a higher rating in open play goals currently than we do. We're 17th in open play goals.
Yeah.
17th. That is just an asinine number. And going back to having Steele in the midfield, Vieira, at least Danielson did something. Gilberto Silva, right? Danielson, okay, I didn't want to go that far. But the thing is that we had some sort of strength there. Like I said, Thomas Partey would have knocked Dogu on his ass, bro. He would have gotten that pass through that opportunity.
Have to recognize the danger there. You have to recognize the danger there. He didn't recognize the danger. And as a DM or playing in that role, being able to identify the danger is one of your best attributes. You know,
knock him down.
Yeah. You got to be able to put out a fire. Take a yellow if you need to.
Thank you, Adam.
Big up to Tony Claude. This guy with all the chess last week. All the chess. On my own channel cooking me, because I didn't have
chess. My gosh.
Me.
Tony Claude.
I'm about a 3. And this is how quick football comes at you, because had we handled our business against Liverpool at home, favorites to win, Forest and Man United at home, and we handle our business in those games, and we are 10, 11 points clear, I'd be giddy as hell. I'll be like, no, even he can't mess this up. But that pressure games, right? As the very beginning of the pressure crunch and we are crumbling, the very beginning. Like, right. I did a stream on the halfway mark saying 19 cup finals remaining. Should we approach each of these games with the urgency of cup finals? I think we will go on to win the Premier League. But against Liverpool, they look like they were in a cup final. We didn't. Even Forest, they looked like they were in. And Man United, which one of the teams yesterday looked like they were in a cup final? It was them. We got flexed on at home. They looked like they were playing in a cup final, not us. So we've been given 4 opportunities since the halfway mark hit, and only one of them, Bournemouth away, is when we actually shine like, hey, we might be different, but then we revert to type. So yeah, I'm right there with you. He's 100% a politician, and I know it's burning up. I think they asked him about Vieira's comments, and he might say said all the right things then, where I accept the criticism, but he knows he's like a vindictive little prick that might cut off his nose again, despite his face, just like Tony said, because he wants to win, but he has to win his way through Odegaard as his captain. But you are making a mistake. You're making yourself look foolish, starting him every week and having to hook him every week.
Right.
When we need those. Like, are you that stubborn?
Right. Well, it's because he knows what's going on. He sees the crap performances that Odegaard is bringing week in and week out, but he feels again like this coddling, this enduring feeling for this kid. Like, oh, I found a gem at 35 mil from an unwanted player at Madrid, from a mediocre player at Sociedad. But let's be honest, we were looking at this kid when he was 17, 18 under Wenger, right? It's like, and even Havertz, we were looking at him as well under Wenger. It's like Arteta got the old transfer book and said, oh, I'm going to make another go for the players that Wenger couldn't get. It's not that he couldn't get them. They didn't want to come. And Chelsea paid more money, right? Especially in the Havertz case. Real Madrid sought out Odegaard soon and benched him for I think a whole season until they finally got him off to Sociedad, where he never won anything with Isak, Reno, right? I think I don't think Zubamendi and Odegaard played together. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they did, but I know, like, why are we poaching Sociedad? Why? Like, it's a mid-table Spanish team. What, like, you think we're going to come to the Premier League and actually produce something? I mean, it's stupid, bro. We're not really poaching Madrid. We're not looking for Camavinga, right? We're not trying to get the
Argentinian. Yeah, and this is just Real Madrid. Let's do this with Chelsea. Like, go to Chelsea and ask him for Caicedo and Palmer. Don't go over there asking him for Havertz and Madueke. Go for the players that they actually want. You know what I mean? And then you will see how they really feel about them, because they sold Madueke to us the day before they played in the final. Yeah, I mean, that's we got the receipts, and we keep that in mind. That's how little they rated him. That
Right.
they deserving, not deserving. Maresca thought, you know what, PSG could possibly give us a problem on Sunday that you could potentially help us solve. But nah, I think we'll take our chances without you. You know, they couldn't believe their luck. I don't even think Arsenal had to pay for the Uber. I think Chelsea footed the bill for the Uber to get him to the airport quickly to make sure that this deal will fall through. You know, now
Well,
I hope Edwick, kicks some, but he's 0014 now. You
right.
know what I mean? So this is why I was against said signing. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the United flexed on us, bro. You flexed on us, move to us, so you can say whatever the hell you want. Because right now, United is like, who can't we beat? We've beaten Arsenal away. We've beaten City. They go to Anfield and won. They're feeling themselves. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
And I think it's a little more. I think Waha would agree. It's a little more than just a new manager bounce, right? It's a little more than that. He's put Dorgu on the wing, who was playing left wing back under, Amarim, who's been a revelation for them the last few weeks. I think that Michael Carrick also doesn't have to really go out there and give tactical guidance to the players individually, right? He's speaking to the collective, especially at halftime yesterday, right? They were a different side at halftime in the second half, right? Carrick said, you know what? You want to press us? What happens if we press you? And we see what happened, right? We saw even the press on Zubamendi, right? Which was in the first half, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was 1-1, I believe, at halftime. No, wait, was it 1-1 at halftime?
It was 1-1. Then they scored in the 60th minute with the Dorgu goal, and then we equalized, and then the back.
It was 1-1 at halftime. Yeah, but again, us chasing the points, bro. Us chasing the goals, and again, I go back to my rants about being a striker-centric club. I don't know where we've turned this corner to where our striker is a defending false nine, and he doesn't get the balls across the face of goal. He's not the focal point, And again, I wanted Gyökeres to start yesterday because I thought at least he could press Harry Maguire a bit. Jesus can run, but he doesn't press, right? It just looks different to me when Jesus does it. And he doesn't have the knees to run a full 65, 70 minutes. Trent is available. And that's,
What did you think of, I want to ask you quickly, what did you think of Hincapie's performance yesterday?
Mid.
He doesn't look fit. I knew he was going to give us an hour. Right. And at 15th minute, he was hooked because I planned this out. But I noticed that he found himself in some good spaces yesterday, but he doesn't trust himself. I seen himself. I was like, damn, I wish Skelly would get into those positions because he broke down a lot of our attacks when he missed control or took a heavy touch or had to recycle the ball. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, this is another rushback player, and he was like a timed sub. And unfortunately, if you're a Skelly and you just saw what happens to Ethan, and then you see that the manager will take the best right back in the league and play him at left back rather than play you there,
right?
Part of me is telling me, like, I know Skelly will say all the right things because he's media trained and he's a good kid and all that. But the footballer in you, Dal, the footballer in you said you would go through Calafiori's injured, Nkapie is injured, and I still can't touch the pitch.
Right.
Man doesn't trust me, but he wants me to go out there and run through a brick wall for him. Nah, you're the bare minimum guy.
I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I don't rate Miles Lewis Skelly. I think he's decent, and I know he's supposed to be a CDM. He's playing left back, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter because Arteta is never going to play him as a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
You know why I wanted to yesterday, Dad? Because he and he's press resistant. He knows how to ride a challenge and get out of danger. So once United started to press us, like Lewis Skelly doesn't do that no look back pass. Back to Aya. He's gonna hold the ball, dribble around the player, shields it, and draw a foul. Now that can be dangerous in and of itself, but he is very press resistant to the point where Atletico, after we scored and knocked them with a set piece, they started to press us, and Lewis Skelly wrote 3-4 challenges and broke the press for Martinelli's goal. So I agree with you. Defensively, he's shit. Unaware, doesn't have the desire, but he is good on the ball. And I think Piero is very good defensively, but going forward, slow down our attack. But I can't blame him because he was rushed back. I know he wasn't fit. Just like Mascara wasn't supposed to be back for 2-3 weeks, and he just came back and played 70 minutes at the San Siro. Right. This cannot continue.
What I said before, Terrence, is that are we here to build up players and build their career, which I know that's part of football, but are we here to win a trophy?
Yeah.
Right? Are we right? And that's the thing. And I know we've suffered with injuries. All clubs suffer with injuries. I just feel like the attention that MLS is getting that sometimes isn't always warranted, because if you're the left back and you're being told to go inverted, I get it. And I get it, AJ. He made a great run through Atletico Madrid, but he's done nothing since. And I'm not in the business anymore of building up 19-year-olds. Right? I mean, because at the time, if we do get that player to a point, we fucking sell him off. Look at what we did. And Emirates Smith Rowe is the perfect example. Alien kid. That was just completely isolated. Who, in my opinion, is better than Odegaard anyway. So why are we investing in Miles Lewis-Skelly, but we won't invest in someone like ESR over Odegaard? That we'll go spend $35 million for Odegaard, but won't give the same sort of credit and credence to Emile Smith Rowe. Yeah, exactly, AJ. I would absolutely trade Odegaard for ESR right this moment in time. 100%. 100%. So, why should I have any faith in Miles Lewis-Skelly developing into a full-fledged Arsenal player that starts in and week out? It's not going to happen. And one area you can say the same thing. Hale End kid. Oh, he has a couple. Yeah, I thought he had a decent season last season. Came on and scored some important goals, and then gets fuck all of this first half of this season and sent to France. But we keep Odegaard, who is far less better than Waneri, in my opinion, right now. Emile Smith Rowe.
I agree with you. But at this point, he is ducked down so much. He can't walk this back. He can't walk back this Odegaard thing. He is going to die on this hill. He will.
Yeah.
He will absolutely die on this hill.
Yeah.
Because Odegaard, like I said this on Shane Guna's channel. For example, Patrick in the studio yesterday, I said, when Patrick was our captain, you couldn't name 4 DMs in the league that was better than him. Shane corrected me. I was like, no, you couldn't find 4 DMs in the world that was better than him when he was our captain. But we got Odegaard that played in this. He's not even the best in the team and the position that we deploy him in. Because he's not better attacking than Ethan or Eze. Because even people who love Odegaard, when he got injured versus Forest and against Leeds, and Ethan came on, everyone said the game went up a notch. Because Ethan came on, he was the safe thing. He was, hey, I'm going that way. I'm getting the ball and I'm going that way. Very direct,
right?
And cause problems. I'm not gonna just run around.
Right? Didn't pass it back to Saliba and kind of stand there waiting for the return pass to make a turn, to pass to Saka again. No, Ethan Waneri, exactly what you said, gets the ball and goes directly forward with it. Looks for the open man on the left side if he's playing on the right. That's why I'm not gassed up about Miles Lewis-Skelly, because we've seen this movie before. We know the outcome of him playing well, either if that's being mid at a left back or being pretty decent going forward as a midfielder. He's never going to take, and I use never, right? A little bit of hyperbole. I just don't get what Miles Lewis-Skelly brings that ESR didn't bring and Waneri didn't bring, but yet they're let go. Right? I don't understand.
If Arteta likes you, you stay. If he doesn't, you go, or you hold bench. But this is the thing. This is a great question or the great statement. Why can't Odegaard just hold bench? Yeah, why not? Like, he's not bigger than the club, but he should. Factually remains our best run of form came when he was out the team. I'm not making that up. It always comes down to the bottom line. The ineptitude of this incompetent, coward pussy of a manager. Yeah, it's it, bro. Scared money don't make no money, And right now he's just wanting Man City to continue to drop points and him just to shithouse results. But you have to go out and win this Premier League outright. At the moment, Ganduzi were an example of what this manager does to young players. Martinelli and Nketiah are an example of improvement of young talent. Yes, 100%. It's a great comment.
Guendouzi, because he had a disagreement with Arteta. Boom, gone.
Yeah, he was sticking up for a teammate. Yeah, you know I mean? He was sticking up for a teammate, which is what you want. You know, we'll work it out in the dressing room, but while we're on the pitch, stick up for your teammate. Unless he's blatantly doing some, crazy stuff. Odegaard can play left 8 certain games. I'd like to see that. Yeah, to play him there since he pressed so well. Put him in that spot. Eze is at best an only 10. Yeah, Waneri is a better right wing. And of this year's version of soccer, explosive on the dribble with a sweet left foot. But, G Wills, he doesn't retain possession. That's what Arteta values. Because those risks or that shot that Waneri will take counts as a giveaway or losing the ball. But that safe pass that Saka and Odegaard makes, to me to you, says possession, control. And you know he likes control. So, yeah. It's
end product.
None.
I mean, it's fine to have control and it's fine to have possession, but when you're 17th in the league ranked for open play goals, all that shit doesn't matter. Control doesn't matter. Possession doesn't matter. If we're so good defensively, we should be able to take risks. Don't you think, Terry?
Tell them. That should be a license to go attack teams.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we know we can defend. Yep.
Because before our attack was good, and we were dealing with the like of Socrates and Mustafi and Rob Holding, Carl Jenkinson, right? Right? We were more scared of our defense than we were our attack. Now we're more scared of our attack than we are defending. I mean, I'll give Arteta a little bit of praise for that, but we've got the right players in that can really defend, though. Right? So it's like it's kind of flip-flopped.
Someone in the chat yesterday, Dal says, someone said our defense is our attack.
Yeah, it's flip-flop. It's like now you got the beans over the Frank. You don't have the Frank over the beans.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Your defense is your attack, my guy. Oh my days. Adam Lamino, big up Adam, man. Big up, man. Appreciate your engagement
every
today.
Game, bro.
3 DMs every. It's mad. And your defense is effective because it's no risk whatsoever. Keep the ball, make safe passes, and let's see if one of the defenders don't track their runners. Someone falls asleep. These teams are too disciplined. They have too much tape on us, and we just make it very easy for us to be defended against.
True.
Not because we're so well coached. Yeah, I agree. Waneri is a better right winger than Madueke. Yeah, better to take risks in an attack than in defense. Arteta has it wrong all the way around. Yeah, 100%.
100%.
You're talking about your striker, you're talking about Gyökeres, and you lead with what he does off the ball. Come on, bro.
it's
pressing. Don't tell me about Odegaard's press. I don't care. No, I don't. Pep Guardiola doesn't want to hear shit about Haaland's press. No,
right.
I don't want to say. I got everybody else. If he presses, great, but he's doing that on his own, not at my destruction. Yeah,
or does he want to hear about Foden and Doku?
Yeah.
Marmouche, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just like the press is good when it leads to mistakes. But when it doesn't lead to mistakes, you're gassing out players. I've said this before, like with our man Tony Cloud a while back when we played West Ham. Why would you press West Ham? They have one option. Lump it to Jared Bowden. Get Paqueta on the ball a bit in the midfield. Okay, 2 options. Like, why are we pressing Wolves? Why are we pressing Burnley? They're not a threat from the back. They're not a threat. They're not going to tiki-taka through our midfield. That's just not going to happen. They're going to get the ball out wide. They're going to lump it up to their striker or to their winger. Football 101, Allardyce ball. So why are we running? And this is, I guess, my point back then was, why is Gyökeres getting so gassed pressing these horrible teams, these horrible defenses, and then when the actual transition happens, he can't do anything because he's so tired of pressing the center back that has no threat. It's stupid. Pressing West Ham. Like Todibo is going to fucking dribble around us. Like, what are we doing, bro?
You know what? Low key, I don't think any of these other top managers rate Arteta as highly as they say publicly.
Right.
I think they look at him and be like, if I had that squad, I'm down here in 14th and 15th with my squad, a fraction of what you spent. And
Right.
I think we play better football. Like if you're Fabian Hurstler right now at Brighton, you have nowhere near that type of budget. You haven't been there 6 years. Right? It's been Graham Paul, it's been Deserby. You've been there what, a year or two? 2 going on 3 years. And Brighton play better football than us. And anyone who says anything is lying.
Bro.
So
there's one manager I would take right now on the field.
Yeah, they look at the resources available to him and they're like, yeah, I know you're top of the league, but you know,
but
you're
I would
not that.
I know this may sound crazy, and I know our friends in the chat may disagree. I would go throw some cash at the Sunderland manager, Labrie, right now. I think the Sunderland manager would get a tune out of this squad. Maybe not right now, as in tomorrow, in summertime. And that's kind of like, let me ask you, do you think if we sacked Arteta literally really that our fortunes would change like that? Or do you think that we should really just wait till summertime, because we are top of the league? I don't want to hear any gripe from the chat. I get it, right? But this is the same manager, Taryn. Let's go back in history. Were we 19th under this manager while Tottenham were first?
I think we were 20th with no goals scored on -9 goal difference, because we had lost 5-0 to City, 2-0 to Brentford, and 2-0 to Chelsea at home.
You got a better memory than me, my friend.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this then. If we sack him tomorrow and get a name in, or let's say AirPod Albert takes over, or the set piece guru takes over, right? Because we're not going to get Luis Enrique tomorrow. We're not going to get Allegri. We're not going to get Zinedine Zidane tomorrow, right? Let's be realistic. You have to have an interim manager first, right? You're not going to get a big name 24 hours after a sacking. It may happen in some alternate universe, but the reality is Luis Enrique is not going to join Arsenal on January 28th, right? That's not going to happen, right? So is it better now? Let me ask you, Taryn, is it better now to ride the wave that we're on and sack this manager in the summer, even though we win the league? Even though we win the league, do we still sack him, get 2 or 3 new signings in, get some of the garbage out, and start again with a new manager? Or do we sack him tomorrow and pray for the best?
That's a bad boy question. I love that question. You know, I love how it's packed. Because during yesterday's rant, I said, sack him. Because if we sack him now, new manager bounce takes us to the Premier League title. Maybe I was just angry speaking out but I was very angry. I said, sack him now. Make history Arsenal Football Club and sack him from first place. Do what's never been done. And I think a new manager bounce takes us to the Premier League. But the second part of your question there, when you said, even if we win the league, write him out and move on. Here's why I agree with that statement. And I didn't always, because I've always said if he wins 2 trophies this year, whichever 2, it could be the small 2, I'm shutting up, I'll give him another year, right? But I hear people who say even if he wins the Premier League, I want him sacked. And I used to disagree with that, but I have changed my posture on that, and here's why. Should we get over the line, Dal, we have to immediately switch to how do we retain this? Because this is something Wenger never did. We have to keep this Premier League title, right? I don't believe playing this way under him, we can retain the Premier League title.
Correct.
I don't.
100%. I agree 100%.
So from that perspective and that through, I would want nothing more than to retain it. So going into the season, if I know he's not good enough to retain it, why bother? So yes,
right.
In that sense, I agree. Even if he drags us over the line and we limp over it with 73 points and Man City has 72, we're still Premier League champions. But yes, I do agree that the people who are saying if he wins the Premier League, they still want him to say. I don't think that's a crazy take anymore.
No, I appreciate that. And, I was listening to the show with you and Gary. Shout out, Gary. Just, I think, on MLK Day. You did a show with Gary on MLK Day, right? I remember because my basketball camp and I was at Starbucks listening to your guys' show. And I put the question there, like, if we only win the Prem by 2 or 3 points this season, that is not decisive enough, right? We got Miss Molina. Hey, I can't say it. That is not decisive enough. And that is no indication that we're going to kick on and win something the 26-27 season, right? So I'm glad that you've kind of like looked at that from a more like critical standpoint. if this manager was to win it by 10 points, 8 points, I guess there's more of some, you can hear some talking heads saying, we kind of won it by a good margin. Maybe we give this manager a go. But I think in all reality is that we just don't, I think it brings more chaos to the squad if we were to sack them today or tomorrow. I think that would really do a number on the psychology of the players and where do we go now. Now we've got to adjust to something new. So that's why I want Arteta out, but I don't think that getting maybe AirPod Albert saves the season. I don't know. That's extremely debatable.
Mm-hmm.
So I disagree with some of our friends in the chat. I don't think AirPod Albert gets us over the line. And I trust him maybe as well. But save the season, Doctor. The season, what's there to save? What's there to save? We're
Dad, I think
points.
Dad, I think you get us over the line. I think we sack him now. You get us over the motherfucking line.
Oh, I doubt that, bro. But
this is how good I think the squad is. You know what I mean? We just have to let the guys play football. Stop being so political and let the guys play. I think we can beat anyone on any given Saturday, any given Sunday.
Maybe.
Arsenal, our once great club, the Assembled, has become a business. It's collateral for the Cronkies who just lost in the NFC Championship game yesterday to the Seattle Seahawks. We have no backbones, and we have a bunch of soft belly fans.
Let me ask you, Taryn, in the chat, do you guys rate the manager from Sunderland at all?
I do. I think so. When I look at the Premier League table, right, if there was a category for a team that is overperforming this season, right. I think Brentford are in there. I think he is in there. And I think Villa is overperforming. I think those teams are overperforming. Even though we're top of the league, I'm honest, I think we're underperforming.
We're underperforming. Yeah.
We're underperforming 100%. Yeah. Dropping points the way we have. No, 180 minutes of football against Liverpool and Forest, no goals. Like Liverpool, Burnley went to Anfield and bust net.
They did. They did.
Yeah, they played through them. It wasn't a jammy goal they played through Liverpool. We couldn't penetrate that defense because of how we play football or the lack thereof. What if he wins the Prem, a UCL, and the League Cup? He stays. He absolutely stays. Because we've never won the UCL.
That was a quick response.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a trouble. That's a 2.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good question, right? But I still don't think
that's a hell of a season, Dow. So he would have deserved another year.
That is a hell of a season. I mean, I would rather have the FA Cup, obviously, the League Cup, but it is what it is. I think we got Wigan coming up in the FA Cup, so who knows what's going to happen with that? But and that's where I'm at a crossroads, right? If we literally win the league and the Champions League and maybe a domestic cup, right? Which I think we stand a better chance of winning a domestic cup than either one of the Champions League or the Prem, obviously. I don't know, man. I really have to see the results first. I can't speculate that we'll win a treble without seeing something first, right? So the League Cup is the first trophy you can win, at the end of February, 1st of March, right? If my schedule's right. March 22nd, thank you. And then what comes next? The league, I think, and then the FA Cup's the following weekend, or the FA Cup's right before the end of the league. Something like that. I know the Champions League's the last trophy you can win if you're obviously in the final, right? That's like June 1st or whatever. Yeah. But for us to win the Champions League, I don't know, Taryn. I said this on Tony Cloud. I may get slayed for this, but I said at the time, I think when we dropped points to somebody, and I don't remember who it was, that we look better in Champions League than the Prem. That I think if the draws go our way and the lads can be up, really, really up for it, that we can actually lift that trophy. But I don't think we can beat Barcelona, and I'm very doubtful we can beat Bayern Munich again.
I think we can beat Barcelona more than we can beat Bayern because The reason why I say we can beat Barcelona is because of the way they defend or the way they don't. They don't defend, bro. If you watch them against,
Hansi Flick doesn't lose in a final. 100%
Yeah.
in finals.
No. In a final, maybe not, but over the course of 2 legs, anyone can beat anyone. Like even us, like you see a lot of Arsenal fans are saying we're top of this, top of that like we can't get moved to. Like if Man City goes into this playoff, which they're scheduled to do because they may not finish top 8, and we draw them in the round of 16, they can knock us out. I don't know why they're pretending like we're just like clean through to the semis and the quarters. Like,
right.
We will be big teams. But the way that Barcelona, the way they stand on the halfway line and just don't care about defending, I think we can get at them in a one-off game. But Bayern Munich, they will have back Musiala. They will have, if everyone stays fit, they are a dangerous outfit.
Abri, so forth.
Yeah.
Mancini. Maybe. See, that's so my thing with that is Wahan Taran is that it's not the manager's name coming in, right? It's the impact of Arteta leaving the players, because I do think that some of these players have bought into the system. I really do. I really do. This would not have come if he didn't somewhat buy into the system, right? And we know Odegaard's a yes man. We know, Zubomendi's a yes man. Saka's a yes man. These players have bought into the TTP, trust the process, right? That we heard 5 years ago. So that's what I'm saying. It's not that the new manager can't really get a tune. I think he can, but I don't think it's immediate, right? Mancini is a great example. I don't think it's immediate, though. I think we'll get a new player bounce, right? Like most clubs do, but the players will have to adjust to something brand new, right? That are brand new. I can name the players, AJ. Saka, Gyökeres bought into the system. Madueke's bought into the system. Odegaard's a yes man. Zubomendi's a yes man. Moreno is certainly a yes man. Gabriel, I guess, to a point, but maybe Rice to a point as well, because he's telling Airport Albert to fuck off down the tunnel. Right? So, AJ, you know what players have bought into the system, bro. You know this club as well as anyone. You can give the list of players that have bought into the system. Maybe the attack isn't working right now, but mentally is what I'm saying. They've bought into the system. Maybe the performance hasn't showed that, but mentally, Odegaard, Saka, etc., have bought into this system. That's I guess my point, right? Even though the performances haven't been there, right? And I think that it really turns the screws that messes with their heads to sack Arteta one day and bring in, I guess, Mancini or the guy you mentioned, AJ. Like, here you go. We're starting from scratch. Wow, we're 4 points ahead in the middle of the season. Like, I just, number one, I don't think Arteta gets sacked right now or anytime soon until the summer results speak for themselves, to be honest. I don't think the club isn't that drastic, even though if we had standards, we would make a move. But I think it would really change the kids' heads a bit too much for the negative, right? Because what if we do get the big manager bounce, Taran, and then we go on to draw again with Mancini or whoever at the helm, right? Then it's like, oh shit, maybe it isn't Arteta, which we all know it is, right? I'm just trying to be devil's advocate for a second. Oh, really? It really is the players and the mix-up of the first 11 and how they work and communicate together is actually maybe a bigger problem, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing darts.
Yeah, I hear you. Juju said, bring Maresca and one, if not both, Neto and Garnacho to the Emirates. I think Juju trolling us. I swear Juju must be trolling us. All the players, if we're going to take any players, it's Caicedo and Palmer. Everyone else, they can keep.
I would give Neto a shout. I would take Neto over fucking Madueke.
I think they're the same player.
Neto over Trossard.
Just ambidextrous with the feet. Like Neto is the most frustrated. He would frustrate the shit out of Gyökeres. You remember our CR7 used to frustrate Van Nistelrooy? Like, brother, when am I supposed to make my run? How many step overs are you going to do? How many cutbacks? He'll be. But I think he's a very good player, though. I wanted him at Arsenal before his Chelsea move, but then I see him at a big club against the low blocks, and he just chops the ball back way too many times. He's indecisive with his decision making. Even Saka, he's a very nice boy. That's why Arteta loves him. You know, executes the he's an extension of the coach. This is why the armband will go from Odegaard to him. He won't go to Rice or Gabriel.
Right.
Actually, because Saka is a nice kid and all, but he doesn't come off as a leader to me. Your captain has to be a leader. This is not an adult teacher in a classroom with kids where you're a leader by default. You're on the pitch with other men, grown men. Right. Saka doesn't seem to me like the type that can lead men. Yeah, Reece James is good. But
I'll take a punt on Reece James as well.
I'm good with Timber. Garnacho is coming anyway, coming back to United. That's what he needs to come back to.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, big up to the chat, man. Dad, what you got coming up, man? What you got coming up on your end?
Just working away, bro. Thank you for having me on so much. Glad we got to do this. Probably do a show with TJ if you're available Friday. Are you available Friday afternoons? What's your schedule like?
I am available Friday afternoons. I'm just not available Thursdays because I'm doing Bruce Banana with Shane. But Fridays I'm good. So
Fridays, let me get a shout at TJ and we'll get you a link if you'd like to come on Friday. Other than just American Idiot Show on TJ Warren TV, and probably do something, get together with Tony Claude later this week. Haven't been determined yet. Tony Claude. Oh man, no, Tony's a good guy, bro. He bleeds red and white, of course. You know, and he definitely knocks his little chest, but that's why we love him, because I think he does have some takes. He has some great questions, and I really enjoy being on his show. But other than that, Friday American Idiot Show with TJ. Let me give him a shout and see if you're available. Usually at 1 o'clock our time, Pacific time, 9 p.m. UK. But we got a big game this weekend, bro. Going up to Ellen Road. Not going to be easy.
Man. Yeah. What you say for that one? Your level of concern, 0 to 10, like I asked you about.
My level of concern is about a 9.5. I'm pretty fucking terrified.
You think Daniel Parker gonna do it to us? Oh, the book is out
now, bro. I'm gonna put it out now. 1-1 draw. Set piece, ole. Gabriel scores. Calvert-Lewin or that fucking little American Aronson puts one in. Right, Leeds are no bums. They're fighting. You know, and Ellen Road, as we all know, is a very, very tough place for us to play. And I'll take a stinky 2-1 Klaja as well. But yeah, thanks.
You know what I don't want to hear? I don't want to hear anything about this Champions League game that we have on Wednesday or whatever.
Right.
What I saw what happened was against Forest, we always choke, but we turned into the best team in the world versus Inter. Now we're the worst team in the world. Now this meaningless game during the week where we're going to rotate 11 players, we're going to be back and all this other stuff, and then we go into another timid performance. We can't have that. Let's just keep the football club consistent. Under Wenger, we didn't have a Premier League form and a Champions League form. We played the same brand of football. We were Arsenal. You know, we were gonna score, but you know, we were leaky back there. You can score too, but now we actually good back there.
Let me ask. Do you want to see what's his name, the center back Solomon? Do you want to see Solomon in that game? Solomon.
Yes. I want to see a full. I want to see a full rotation, like the bare minimum. Like if we have a third keeper, don't even play Kepa, but he probably play Kepa for get him some rotation. So you play Kepa. Benjamin White is our backup right back. Don't even play him because he needs to rest. Yeah, you know. Play the bare minimum, the academy kids. You know, how is Max ankle? Can he run? Play him. You're into Russian Max's play anyway, you know?
Matt, we have a kid named Max Dowman? Really? Is he pretty good? I heard he's okay back in November.
He's very good at throwing pens.
Okay. Well, let me know who this Max Dowman kid. I'll look him up on Instagram because I never heard of him before. Well, wait, it's not October or November either. So, yeah, let me look him up on Instagram. Maybe he can do a little team. We'll see. But I bro, stinky 1-1. Sorry, stinky 1-1. But thanks again, bro, for having me on. Much love. Love the show. Always here, of course. Every morning, watch your thing. Shout out everyone in the chat. Love to all y'all.
Yeah, big up, man. You're a legend. And people, make sure that we sub to Dow. Big up. Have a good fight and have a good. Man. Big up, man. Joins better meltdown settings. I'm here for it. You know. But yeah. Love people. Yeah, had the kids out there. Ball it out. You know what I mean? But big up, people. What we do over BBK Sports, we do keep the conversation honest. And I always tell you, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.